During Marvel Comics' most recent Fall of X storyline for the X-Men characters, the hero known as Kitty Pryde found herself in a great number of morally ambiguous situations. Kitty consistently had to resort to extreme violence in order to save some of her fellow X-Men and smite the foes of Orchis to save Krakoa. Now Krakoa is gone and our X-Men heroes are scattered across the globe. It's time to see how Kitty is dealing with some of her fractured morality in the pages of Exceptional X-Men Issue 1. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel. Exceptional X-Men Issue 1 is written by Eve Ewing, featuring artwork from Carmen Carnero. We have letters from VC's Joe Sabino, colors from Nolan Woodard, and designed by Jay Bowen. In addition here, the cover is illustrated over from Carmen Carnero and Nolan Woodard. Really love the striking way we get to preview some of our brand new X-Men characters looking at the audience, especially as it pertains to this brand new character of Bronze, Trista, who's featured all over the debut chapter. Plus, I love some of these foreboding looks that both Kitty and Emma are given over to the audience as well here. Next up, I want to catch up on some of our debut pages coming in from Carmen Carnero over on Exceptional X-Men Chapter 1. Also want to give a quick shout out over to Adventures in Poor Taste for posting this preview of the debut chapter. So I was really shocked when I checked out some of the pages for this first chapter of Exceptional X-Men and noticed just how much of a character study that author Eve Ewing was able to construct here for the character of Kitty Pryde. So much of the narration kicking off the issue was able to deal with so much of the post-Krakoa fallout for the X-Men characters that I really think From the Ashes has done a great job exploring so far to date with some of these heroes. Also, catching up with Kitty Pryde and learning where she is on the globe, especially in relation to the rest of the mutants, was really fascinating here. Kitty is really trying to shed some of her most recent X-Men life behind, and is seemingly shocked to the core by some of the fallout of the Krakoa era of comics. After touching base with Kitty Pryde and learning about some of the anxiety that she feels regarding Krakoa, author Eve Ewing is able to transition this comic book into a storyline featuring more X-Men characters. Kitty is trying to go out for a night over on the town and actually has a date scheduled that she's hiding from her incredibly nosy roommates. Later on, though, Kitty finds herself distracted by this brand new mutant of Bronze, or Trista, as she's called on this preview page, who's actually trying to get into a concert. This character is apprehended by the security guards here, and there's so many striking and vivid panels from Carmen Carnero detailing all these really angst-filled expressions from Trista here on the page. This next sequence actually features Trista manifesting some of her X-Men powers and operating as the mutant known as Bronze. It also features an escalation from Bronze and needs Kitty Pryde to intervene in order to save her life. Really seeing Kitty spring into action and try and save this character was a resounding part of Exceptional X-Men that felt so core to this comic book series. It really felt like watching Kitty try and push back her PTSD to save this brand new hero was an incredibly striking point for Ultimate X-Men Issue 1 to end on. Plus, this series did such a phenomenal job with the first half of the characterization for Kitty Pryde that this moment felt incredibly earned from the comic book and so well paced. We haven't talked enough about some of Carmen Carnero's artwork. I think the artwork from Carnero combined with the beautiful colors from Nolan Woodard really help a page like this spring out and stand apart from so many of the others. I'm loving the really interesting sense of framing and all these fascinating bleeds that Carnero is able to implement throughout the comic book as well. We've already hinted at this previously, but it's really the expressions that Carmen Carnero is able to evoke from so many of these characters that make Exceptional X-Men feel so strong as just a visual comic book alone. Also, this title is so devoted to fleshing out the characterization for these X-Men characters. Getting somebody who's good with faces is incredibly important to the storyline. In fact, I was really happy to see the Exceptional X-Men comic book operate so similar to Ultimate X-Men. I love the idea of just introducing one or two of your main cast of characters and then letting the story really naturally flow in order to build to a massive team book. Also, some of the final pages teasing other characters in the series like Emma Frost were incredibly engaging. I was so happy about the subtle ways that Eve Ewing as a writer was trying to reintroduce some of these characters over to the narrative here. So at the end of the day, I really do think Exceptional X-Men is a really tremendous comic book that actually ends up living up to the incredibly strong name here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.